Well, Rand Paul is back at it with his criticism of the former chief medical advisor to the president. Senator Paul, who is also a medical doctor, has for the last few years continuously condemned Dr Anthony Fauci for his role in the COVID-19 pandemic. The two of them have been known to get in heated exchanges while under oath at various hearings. But now Rand Paul has told the story that Dr Fauci engaged in an elaborate cover-up of the origins of COVID. Senator Paul said the reason Dr Fauci didn't want any attention drawn to this or to his funding of the lab is that ultimately he would have culpability. There's a responsibility because for years he had advocated for gain-of-function research. He's even quoted as saying in 2012, if a pandemic should occur, if a scientist should be bitten by an animal and the virus gets out of the lab, it would be worth the knowledge. He continued, Dr Fauci and Dr Collins and others orchestrated a cover-up. There are emails between former National Institute of Health Director Dr Francis Collins and Dr Fauci, in which Dr Collins says this wouldn't be good for China, this wouldn't be good for science, meaning that it wouldn't be good for the business of science, for the money that changes hands. There's so much going on here, and when the American public finally finds out, there's going to be such dissatisfaction in this country like you can't believe. For example, we know that the NIH gave money to American universities who then gave it to military researchers with the title of general or colonel in the Chinese People's Liberation Army. Now, not only was Dr Fauci the chief medical advisor to the president, but he was also the director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases and a physician at the National Institute of Health. Because of these roles, Senator Rand Paul has repeatedly accused Dr Fauci of knowingly funding dangerous gain-of-function research that could have led to the pandemic. This research basically can genetically alter an organism in a way to enhance the biological gene products, which means it can alter the pathogenesis, transmissibility, or host range of a virus. Fauci has claimed under oath that the National Institute of Health did not fund the research alleged to have taken place at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. In July 2021, documents obtained by The Intercept revealed the NIH directed a grant of $3.1 million to the US health organisation EcoHealth Alliance. Nearly $600,000 of the fund went straight to the Wuhan Institute of Virology to study bat coronaviruses. Dr Fauci said that the NIH did send this money, but it was not sent to study gain-of-function research that could have been responsible for COVID-19. He backed up those statements in previous congressional hearings.
Senator Paul, I have never lied before the Congress, and I do not retract that statement. This paper that you are referring to was judged by qualified staff up and down the chain as not being gain of function.
So
let me finish.
You take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans,
right.
You're saying that's not gain of function?
Yeah, that is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially.
Sky News host and author of What Really Happened in Wuhan, Sherry Markson, has continuously spoken about Dr Fauci's role in the pandemic.
As you know, I've been investigating Anthony Fauci's involvement in funding coronavirus research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology for months now. Some of these discoveries I have already reported. I found out that his agency had funded 60 projects at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. I found out that he wrote a paper back in 2012 where he argued that gain-of-function research that's genetically manipulating coronaviruses to make them even more dangerous and more transmissible, Fauci said that this was worth the risk of a pandemic. And he even funded research, his agency funded coronavirus research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology in conjunction with the Chinese military. This is just astonishing and unthinkable. Why would America be funding research at a Wuhan lab in conjunction with the Chinese military? Fauci was up to his neck funding research in Wuhan.